A former Assemblywoman is running for Las Vegas City Council, and we're talking with her right here on Nevada Politics Today. I'm your host, Victor Jakes. Olivia Diaz was first elected to the Assembly in 2010 before resigning to run for this seat. She's also a teacher at Ruby Thomas Elementary School. Olivia, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Victor.
I want to talk about what I think is the most controversial issue facing the Las Vegas City Council, what's happening at Badlands. The developer, Johan Lowy, wants to build houses on the golf course. Some residents have been very opposed to that. Where do you stand on that issue?
Look, it's an issue that I've been hearing about through the news, through the media, but I haven't taken a deep dive to see the progress or the intricate details behind it. So right now, quite honestly, I've been focused more on what my constituents in Ward 3 are telling me as I'm visiting them at the doors and introducing myself as an option for the City Council. So I don't have any awareness. It's not coming up on the Ward 3 residents' minds. But I do, when I work really hard and I earn the support of the community behind us in this bid, I do intend to take a full dive and see where we will be at that point with the Badlands issue.
Well, related to Badlands, the Las Vegas City Council passed an open spaces ordinance, and some people were concerned that it would limit future development. Let's go to graphic 1, take a look at what Mayor Carolyn Goodman had to say about it. Las Vegas Mayor Carolyn Goodman says the proposed standards would require developers to come out of pocket for studies before approval and therefore stifle development. Goodman says her concerns are focused on wards 1, 3, and 5. I'm passionate about fixing the historical part of town, Goodman said. This ordinance will put the financial burden on the front end, and the potential investor will have to come up with the funds, and they're going to say, I'm going to the Southwest, I'm going to Henderson or somewhere else. That was from Dana Gentry in the Nevada Current. Would you support that ordinance, or would you want to see it repealed?
Look, Victor, I would definitely need to do my due diligence as a state legislator. I made sure that I always listen to both sides of issues before making up my mind on it. I do want to make a well-informed, educated decision. I don't want to just, speak about something I'm not entirely knowledgeable about, but I do see that we need to ensure that economic development does continue to exist in our city of Las Vegas. We do not want to lose those investors, developers, and projects of the nature that might make, especially like in Ward 3, where we have a big part of downtown. We don't want to lose that ability to remain attractive for people to come and do business there. So I think overall we do need to make sure that we do not lose sight of making sure that there's a balanced approach in any kind of ordinance.
So with either Badlands or the open spaces, you don't want to give a firm answer either way?
Right now, I'm focused on earning the support of the Ward 3 voters, and what's coming up at the door as I'm knocking is concerns about public safety in our neighborhoods. We're also hearing how the homelessness issue needs to find we need to find a common sense solution.
I want to dive into public safety.
Yes.
What needs to change? What can be done better?
Well, I know that my constituency is saying that they want to see a little bit more of patrolling units present in the neighborhoods and maybe a little bit faster response time. Maybe that's tied into bringing more law enforcement officers into our neighborhoods to make sure that they're ready and accessible to attend to the needs of our neighbors when they need it.
And homelessness, you mentioned, also is a big concern. The city of Las Vegas has kind of done a high-profile effort to centralize that. Is that working? Is there a different approach? How do we solve homelessness or improve it if you can't?
I know we're trying to make progress, right? And I think the courtyard project is a good first step to make sure that people have a place where they can get essential things like, have a place where they can get clean, where they can get medication that is needed. But I know that in researching the homelessness issue, there's more than one type of homelessness, and there's different populations or categories within that. And I think we have to be very specific in terms of programming needs for the different types of homelessness populations that exist. So I think that that's where joining efforts, city, county, state, federal government, when we can come together and kind of see what entity or jurisdiction is going to tackle certain communities. I think that together we can really ensure that we're providing all the options that we need in order to decrease the numbers of homeless.
Do you feel like Las Vegas is bearing too much of the load that other community partners, maybe in Henderson or North Las Vegas or the county, should be contributing more?
I think because of the physical presence being heavily in, I know Ward 3, we have about 40% of the homelessness population physically present there. I know Ward 5 is another one that has about 50%. It's easy to say, not my problem, not in my yard.
Right.
But I think that, as a state, Las Vegas, the city of Las Vegas, the tourists that are coming, we need to leave the most favorable impression in order for people to want to continue to come here and see us as an exciting city to visit and to enjoy while they're here. And I think that, it behooves all of us, whether it be Henderson, City of North Las Vegas, the City of Las Vegas, the state, to come together and address this problem, because I think it's a statewide issue, not just a City of Las Vegas issue.
And speaking of issues that are affecting the whole region, housing prices have gone up tremendously since the bottom of the Great Recession. Is there something that needs to be done to help people with affordable housing?
That's something that I'm hearing at the doors as well, that, paychecks can't keep up with the cost of living, and that rent is going up, or the affordability of buying a home is going up, and people don't have the resources to secure just basic housing needs. I think we do need to put our heads together with state, city, and local electeds and see what we can do to make it affordable so that we don't exacerbate this already chronic homeless situation.
Senator Julia Ratty, one of your former colleagues up to the legislature, recently offered an amendment to a bill that would allow local jurisdictions to implement rent control. Is that something you would ever support if you're elected onto the council, is rent control?
We would have to, again, see what that is, what does it look like, and what's a fair way to implement that that will have the effect that we really want it to have on the everyday constituent. But I know that in my community in Ward 3, we do want to make sure that we are able to get prices in a range that is affordable for everybody.
One of the other larger issues affecting the city is that the council passed an ordinance restricting places like Airbnb or services like Airbnb and from, not allowing people as easily to rent out their homes. Is that something that you support, or something that the city should roll back?
I'm really trying to get a temperature check on what the residents of Ward 3 want in terms of short-term rentals. I have heard the concerns of certain constituents where the short-term rental causes chaos in neighborhoods, and they feel their quality of life suffers as a result. And then I'm hearing of others who really want that opportunity to be able to just balance their income and provide a future. Maybe that's their college, their child's college nest egg, right? And so how can we balance things out in a way that's fair and equitable, and one, doesn't inconvenience the resident in the ward by these short-term rentals, but also provides the opportunity for them to exist? Because I know many people, when we travel out of Las Vegas, we do look to these short-term rentals as a solution of our stays elsewhere. So why?
So you'd be open to revisiting that policy?
I think there could be some balance there where we can have our neighborhoods still be vibrant, safe places, and also let people do business at the same time. But we need to, I think, really take a close look at how.
You have a lot of experience winning elections. You were first elected to the Assembly in 2010, and you actually won late last year before resigning that seat. Should people be concerned that you won a term to the Assembly and then you left to pursue this opportunity?
Look, Victor, my first legislative session when I was first elected in 2010, I traveled to Carson City pregnant, delivered my son 3 weeks into my first session, and continued to work for the people 2 weeks after his birth, making sure that I did not fail my electorate, making sure that I was there presenting their side and representing their needs at the legislative level. I did not quit this legislative seat just on a whim. It was due to timings. And Councilman Coffin just announced formally in late November that he was not running. He would not seek a third term as city council person. And at that time, I thought it would be then a prudent move to resign from my current assembly seat, because I feel that my legislative experience can bring a lot of positive change to the community that gave so much to me and has seen me grow up and want to give back to the community. And I think that in the legislature, we're there for 6 months, but in the city council, we have more of a direct day-to-day impact on people's lives. And I would be honored if I was bestowed that opportunity to work in conjunction every day, not just 120 days, but 365.
And we're going to have to leave it there. Olivia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Victor.
And thank you for watching. Remember, if it involves Nevada politics, we're talking about it right here on Nevada Politics Today. I'll see you next week.